Good. This is my sound check. Hello and welcome to another session of lessons from my mother. I am looking at three cameras right now, so I'm very confused. I'm here with a very good friend of mine. Her name is Elsa Khalil. She is the founder of Khalil Services, and she's going to talk a bit more about what she does and how the business happens. But today we're going to be talking about her lovely mom and all the lessons she's gathered from her and made her into this wonderful woman that I know and love. So Elsa, welcome.
Hi, Ali.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you
Oh,
for having me.
it's always my pleasure. So you know I do this series. You know our good friend Reem Ghanum has been on it. You know some other friends have also been on it. So I'm just going to ask you to let your professional walls down and just be regular, like we're having a sip of coffee on a beach. And just tell me about your mom and tell me all the things you've learned. So why don't you start by telling us her name and what she's like?
Ali, first of all, thank you for having me. A great hello to Reem as well. I wish I can see her very soon.
Yeah.
That's a good idea to be like by the beach right now. Not a professional outfit. My Mama. Her name is Mary.
Mary.
She's everything. She's
Uh-huh.
everything. She made me. I always say that she made me the woman I am today.
Right.
Of course, like all the qualities that we learned in life, the values, the reason for being, how we should be as women. And I think a mother would have a very important influence on her daughter,
Yep.
the same on her sons. So for us daughters, we're two sisters,
Right.
and she raised us in a way that I would say it's perfect.
Right.
It's perfect how it should be, and she made us how we.
I can see your eyes already tearing up. I'm like this about my mom too. You can talk to me about my mom, and within 2 minutes, I'm like, my mom's the greatest person in the world. And my dad,
I'm gonna try not to cry.
yeah, the same thing. I should have some Kleenex on hand. And my dad's like this too. I start talking to my father about his mother, and he says, "Well, my mother was like this," and and I was like, "Oh, Dad, stop doing that." But you know, that's why. You know, who was I watching? I think I was listening to Jordan Peterson where he says, that's the first relationship we ever have with a human being. There's nothing before it.
True.
Because we're developing inside, and that's the first ever relationship we have. Therefore, it's the greatest one.
Yeah.
Don't cry, Elsa.
No.
Because I'm gonna cry and you can cry. So because Reem and I cried as well. So all right. So what does she do now? And I remember you guys have moved around a lot, and now you're settled in Montreal, and you're this wonderful businesswoman who does podcasts and you help people from all across the world. But tell me how your mum was when you were 5 years old, when you were 10 years old. What were you like when you were 5? Were you a noisy, naughty kid, or were you a very gentle? Yeah, right. So how did your mum like guide that little girl into what you are today?
Yes. Well, if I go back to my childhood days,
Yep.
And also my mother's childhood wasn't that easy. My mom comes from the south of Lebanon.
Right.
So this area has been through a lot. So this area has always been through wars,
Yes.
years after years.
Yep.
The first thing I learned from my mother and shaped me into the person I am today, and I remember it every single morning, is resilience.
Wonderful.
My mom went through war.
Right.
She lived right through it. She had to endure like so much pain and so much trauma and traumatic episodes in life. She couldn't continue her education due to the war. So this is the first thing that she always made sure we focus on, which is education, continue our education. She had to handle a lot of responsibilities at a very young age.
Yep.
So she had to stop her education, start working, take care of her parents that they were both sick,
right?
Very sick. So she had to move cities from the south of Lebanon to the capital,
right?
To the main city, so she can take care of her parents and their sickness. So it wasn't an easy childhood for her. And with all of that, when I was growing up and knowing more and more about my mother's story, made me focus on what I want in life, what I want for myself,
yep,
in what I want to achieve for her.
Right.
Because she had so many dreams.
Yep.
She was an ambitious woman, but she couldn't do it
No.
because all the life circumstances she has been through, they stopped her from achieving what she really wanted to do, whether war or whether in family
Yeah.
illness. So I was focused, so focused on succeeding for me, for my family, and for her, for sure, for her to make everything she dreamed about comes a reality.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, take this heavy lump. Don't get. She's a very emotional girl. She's a Scorpio. You know what Scorpios are like, so she's very emotional. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Whew, wasn't prepared for that. You know, we all have this wonderful immigrant journey, right? And all the hundreds and thousands of people that you also help who come to better countries to study and to work, they also all have such similar stories where their parents have struggled because of war or famine or strikes or political troubles, and they find their ways through, and they carry their children out of adversity into the light. And I'm very glad to know you, to know Reem, to know other friends of mine, some of whom have been on my podcast, because we take all that love and turn it into light,
Yeah.
and share it with other people.
Yeah.
That's marvelous. Was she a strict mother?
Well,
Or was she
she
the
was.
gentle one? Okay.
She was. She
Tell me
was
about
the
that.
strict mother. It was an opposite scenario.
So
in
dad
the
was chilled
family.
out.
Dad,
Okay.
yeah, dad the chill, the easygoing, the secret keeper. Mom was strict. Mom, well, if you're Lebanese, you would understand women that are coming from the south are very, very conservative and
Right.
like have values and families,
Right.
and like they have to like follow certain things, and especially
Yep.
we're two girls,
Yep.
and she doesn't have boys. And
Right.
so
Of
like
course.
girls, we have to take care of them. She
Mhm.
has to keep on following the rules.
Right.
My dad comes from the capital, from the city.
Oh,
he's
he's a
very,
big
like,
city guy.
chill,
Okay.
a modern guy. Yeah, it was, but like I like that push and pull that was in the parents, because like until now I know that I have my limits. I know I have my boundaries. I'm turning 30 soon, but still I still respect the family, the parents, and
of
the values and the boundaries they have drawn for us.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we never really grew out of it. I'll give you a good example, and shout out to my mom because I love you. But my parents were here a couple of weeks ago, and we went to Toronto. It was at a family friend's house, and you know almonds, badam.
Yeah.
There was a bowl of almonds. I'm sorry, mom, I'm saying this story. There was a bowl of almonds, and I loved them. So while walking, I would just eat like a handful. And you're supposed to eat 7 a day.
Yes. Oh my God.
I eat 7,000 a day. So I kept eating, and then I remember before lunch one day I was grabbing them, and my mom said, "Ali, put it back." I was like, "I'm in my mid-30s. What's going on?" It's like, "Put it back." I was like, "Okay." And I just came and sat down, and I got a lecture from my mom saying, "You're supposed to eat 7, not 7,000. What's wrong?"
Oh my God.
Yes, mom. Yes, mom. Okay. We can't grow out of it, and I don't want to grow out of it. I'm happy to have parents who love me, who care about me. Same for you, that they would put themselves in harm's way, bend over backwards, try everything in their power so my life is better.
Yeah.
Eating 7,000 almonds is obviously bad for me. I know, doctors, chill out. But I wouldn't have listened to somebody else. If somebody else said, I was like, "Who the hell are you? I'm not going to listen to you." But when my mom, just one look is absolutely enough. So my mom has also been very, very strict. And my father has led by example. My mom has led by lecturing. But she was the strict one, and I'm so grateful for all the strictness, because I would be a horrible person if it wasn't for her. Now, tell me about, because when it comes to education, when it comes to work, obviously parents want us to do well. So they don't want us playing, they want us to study, and then they want us to work. But how was she like in the summer holidays or on the weekends? Is she the funny one in the family? Is she the chilled out one? Or is she always like, "Okay, eat your vegetables, okay, clean up your room"?
No,
like, what kind of lessons? So you've talked about one lesson is resilience, right? And the other one that I'm learning is discipline and focus.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit more about that side of
it was always fun during the holidays, the weekends. the vacations, and especially I'm getting to notice this now as we're growing older.
Yep.
Because when we were younger, as I said, life wasn't that easy for us.
No.
Neither for my mom or when she got married and with
Yep.
my dad. When we were growing up, life wasn't that easy. I don't come from a very wealthy family.
No.
We struggled to get here. So, but now, when everything is easing out and we're having some sort of stability, and now we're traveling together. So we're traveling all together
Really?
for vacations, for fun.
Wow.
Like we went to Miami a few months ago. We went to Mexico. Like we're experiencing, and I'm happy I'm experiencing these with my family
Yep.
because they didn't have the chance to do it before.
Yep.
And now when we travel together, I see how fun she is.
I have to stop you. There's a hair. It's
Crossing.
crossing. Yeah, I'm really sorry because this is a visual medium and I cannot let my friend live with this where people zoom in
This is what
because
friends are for.
she's famous, so people zoom in and say, well, she had a hair on her face. No internet, we're not going to do that. Carry on. Miami.
Miami, Miami, LA, we've been everywhere.
Really?
So
What does she like? Where does she like to go?
well,
Does she like the warm climate?
definitely warm, definitely by the beach. She comes from a coastal city in
course.
Lebanon,
Of
from
course.
here, so it's by the beach.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So we're getting to experience life together, and now I'm happy. I'm enjoying this. I'm seeing the kids in my parents. Like I'm seeing the younger version in them.
Tell me more.
We're more friends as of friends now.
Ah.
Like we hang out together, we go to parties together, we make plans. They're not much older than me, so
Right.
there's not much of an age difference. So
Right.
I enjoy this atmosphere that we have at the moment rather than a parent and
Right.
a child.
The hierarchy is less because of this.
Yes.
So what kind of child is she?
Now
Yeah.
she likes to enjoy, she
Right.
likes to have fun, she
Yeah.
likes people to take care of her.
Right.
Like now she's the person that, okay, I want to relax, I want to take
I love it.
my guards down, and
I
it's
love
up
it.
to you to take care of me.
Oh, that's
So
perfect.
yeah, we need to like remember her favorite food, the dessert, like she likes these treats. It's her turn at the moment.
Absolutely. No, I'm all for it. I think that's marvelous.
Yeah.
Because she's trained both of you into becoming responsible adults. So now she can just lean back. So tell me this though, because I have 3 brothers. I'm number 3. 3 is the best number. So I'm number 3, and I've noticed that when you have the first child, you're the older sister, I'm guessing. When you have the first child, they're raised in one manner, and then the second and third and fourth. What lessons were given to you which weren't given to your sister, and vice versa? Did that ever happen? And how much is the age difference between you and your sister?
4 years.
4 years. So obviously you had changed, your mother had changed, father had changed.
Yeah.
You were probably going to school when your younger sister was
Sure.
born. So did you see that shift? Well, because, for example, my younger brother has had it very easy in life. This is going to go on your page. He's had a very chilled out sort of I love him. He's had an easier life than the older 3. And we always say, you've never experienced hardship. We've been through the dungeons. Tell me about that side of your mom.
Well, I think she raised us very similarly.
Okay.
I cannot pinpoint a difference between us.
Right.
Definitely, I think it always goes to the younger person in the family, to like everyone is taking care of that person.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything, my sister, we love you, but it's always like my mom, when she wants to like think of a dish to do for the day. Oh, my sister is named Lily. Okay, Lily would love to have that for, why is Lily the preference? But no, like whenever I'm traveling, I'm away, I come back home for amazing food. This is for sure.
Really?
But like sometimes you can pinpoint some a priority for the younger sibling.
I happen to be my mom's favorite, thank God, but I know who my dad's favorite is, and other members of the family. So what I noticed, if you and Lily were obviously raised similar, she must have given certain values, right? So one would have been resilience, the other would have been discipline. Talk to me a bit more about other values which you might consider important: empathy or compassion or friendship, or what other things can you say? Well, my mom, for example, for me, one of the things that my mom has taught me is discipline, and the other is organization. So, for example, I moved in yesterday, and already I've started, like this morning I woke up, I was like, I'm doing Elsa's interview at 12. I have 4 hours. I have to start cleaning up. And my mom called, what are you doing cleaning? She was like, good. That's why I called you. I wanted to just check. And I'm cleaning and arranging things. So this is some of the values. What about your mom?
Sure. Well, definitely compassion
Mm.
and supporting others.
Talk about it.
I see it more like it's becoming more vivid through my business at the moment
Yep.
to help others. But I learned it from my mother because when I grew up to an open house.
What
a
does that mean?
house
What do you mean by that?
Where we're always hosting people,
Right.
having people over, cooking for people. Like my mom shows her love through cooking. It's
Really?
always
That's
through
lovely.
cooking.
That's
So
lovely.
yeah, I grew up with mom helping people, taking care of people, visiting sick people. So I learned all of these from her,
Right.
and I see it translating into my business every single day.
Right.
The way we help people to move, it's vivid.
Yeah.
And one more thing I learned from her a lot is that how we can have a shield protecting us from all the negativity that is surrounding us.
Right. Talk about that. I think that's very useful to
It is
millions of
because,
people.
yeah, like not everyone's gonna like you forever.
No.
And not everyone's gonna like you for what, no matter what reason it is.
Yep.
So we do have negative energy around us. We
Of
do
course.
have negative people.
Right.
That could be bullying, that could be spreading negative energy, that
Yep.
could be whatever. They could judge you without even knowing who you are.
Yep.
So my mom taught me that it's okay to have that in life. It's okay to be surrounded by this, but you need to learn how to listen to that, but don't let it sink in. So
Wow.
be shielded, be protected, because you know who you are. You know how true you are to yourself. And negative comments, negative energy could happen at any time.
Yep.
Just learn through it.
Right.
And another reason, she taught me how to pick up the pieces and stand up. My mom had it very tough.
Yep.
And she didn't have any person to rely on.
No.
So she learned every single time to pick up the pieces and stand up for herself.
Failing forward.
Yes.
Yes. Not falling, failing forward.
Yeah.
Right.
So I learned this. I learned every single time I'm falling, I'm picking up my pieces and standing up again. Because life is gonna go on. Life is gonna pass through you. No one is gonna stop and wait for you to like be good. You know, we're friends. You know, I've been going through a lot lately, and it's not the best phase of my life, but still, I'm dressed up.
You're going through it.
And I'm sitting here, I'm talking easily because this is what she taught me.
Yep.
Another reason why you're saying, oh, you're wearing a suit today.
Yeah.
I told you, this is something I learned from my mother.
Tell me about that.
Why?
How come? What do you mean?
My mom, I remember since I was a very young age, she used to always tell me that taking care of ourselves as women, on the outside, dressing well, taking care of our hair, our nails, our appearance, is part of our faith.
Yep. Part of your faith.
Part of our faith, part of taking care of our bodies, of who we are. Because we're not only souls, we are bodies as well.
Yeah, we have that in Islam as well. You're Catholic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
we have to
take care of how we look.
Because this is a gift from God.
It is.
And you have to respect it as if it's a gift.
And it will also reflect on your well-being.
Right.
If you're feeling down.
Yep.
If I'm a girl, I'm feeling down, I'm in pajamas all day, my hair in a bun, I will feel worse.
Of course.
If I stand up, I go to the hairdresser, or I do it myself, I do my hair, I put up the best outfit I can.
Yep.
I put on heels.
Yep.
I will turn on.
Just feel better.
No one is gonna stop me from doing what I want to.
Exactly.
So I learned that from my mom. And when I started this business, she was the main supporter for me at the beginning. When I wanted to go to the office every single day in the morning, she would stop me to see what I'm wearing.
Really?
If I'm not wearing high heels, she would tell me.
Put on high heels?
Put on high heels.
Tell me about that. Why would you say
This is
so?
your confidence.
Wow.
So yes, these are minor things, but now
But they matter.
They do matter.
Small things join up and build a
course.
mountain.
They're made for a reason.
Wow.
And I would ask every single girl over here, every single woman, how do you feel after taking care of yourself, putting on a suit, and putting on your high heels.
Mhm.
No one can stop you.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous. I like it.
So this is
And for the men as well. Give something for the men. A tie, maybe. A tie can make you feel better.
I
Give something. We don't have heels, Elsa. We
I
did
have
a
those
tie. I'm a brother. We would wear ties or sunglasses. Go on. Okay, it's not just for girls. Don't go on wearing heels. But I love that. I love that. If you, yeah, it's the little things actually. It's the little things. A well-ironed shirt can make all the difference. Or I always say this because when I was in my early 20s, my roommate in university was a food engineer.
Mm.
And we were talking about people going through depression and upset. And he said, man, depression can be fixed with one good meal. What are you talking about? And he broke down the biology for me. And he said, we weren't talking about clinical depression. We were talking about just people when they're upset, but they think they're depressed. He said, you have a really good meal and it starts triggering processes in you, which start having a domino effect and you start feeling infinitely better.
Yeah.
And I've tried it. That's why people, when they become hungry, they become angry. That's why we call it angry. So it happens all the time. This heels thing that you're talking about, I think that's marvelous. You should write a book about it. That could be a nice book, right? Remember to wear your heels or something.
Oh.
Wow, that's really marvelous.
And also one more thing, Ali.
Yep.
Would you notice how people? It's not about judging, but how people would look at you if you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah, they do behave differently for sure. There's always a difference. Yeah. So, how did your mom teach this lesson to you?
By doing. By
example.
By
Wow, all the
example.
time, huh?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. We're in the side. We come from the Middle East.
Yep.
We come from the side of the world where appearances do matter.
Yep.
So she learned it through her life.
Yep.
And she did
Share it with you.
share it with us.
And you and Lily. How
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
My God. 22 minutes. Does it feel like
No,
22
I
minutes?
know.
But see, I have to stop around the 25 mark because otherwise we can keep talking for hours and hours.
We always talk for hours.
We certainly do. But I have to meet her now. Now,
You're welcome.
Mary,
For Lebanese food.
Aunt Mary, show me your love through your wonderful food. I'm happy to eat it and gain a lot of weight. But I think she sounds like a marvelous woman, and I'd love to have her on one day, like on the show, and just listen, because sometimes whenever my mum's around, I have the privilege of asking her for, Mum, why did you tell us this when we were younger? And then she talks about it, and it's marvelous. But I'm going to give you a minute to say something to your mum in your local language. So whether it's Arabic or the Lebanese dialect or French or whatever, but look at her and say something. And if you cry, I'll fetch you some tissues, because all my I make all my friends do it. I've had it done in Farsi, I've had it done in Arabic, in Peruvian Spanish. I've had it done in Tamil, which is South India. So you have to say it. And I say to my mom all the time, so tell her how much you love her. Tell her what it means to you that she's in your life. Say it. I have tissues ready, or my sleeve would work. But please go on. Don't cry, Elsa. It's my life. What are you doing? Come on. You have 3 cameras on you. Come on, pull yourself together.
Okay. So in Arabic.
Yeah.
بدي اقول لها I'm sure ماما عم تحضريني لأنه دايما بتحضريني ودايما يا بتكوني معي على الست لما عم صور أو بتكوني عم تحضريني من بعيد. يمكن ولا مرة قلت لك إياهم هول، بس بدي أقول لك اليوم ميرسي على كل شي عملتيه معنا. بعرف حياتك ما كانت هينة أبدا، كانت كتير صعبة من أنت وصغيرة وكل شي قطعتي فيه، بس بدي أشكرك لأنك قويتينا من كل الضعف اللي نحن مرقنا فيه بالحياة. غيرتينا وعلمتينا كيف نكون نساء مجتمع بهيدي الطريقة وبهيدا الاحترام وبهالقيم يلي خليتيهم فينا. بدي أقول لك إنك إنسانة عظيمة، وبدي أقول لك إنه أنا فخورة فيك كتير، وفخورة إنك أمي قدام العالم كله. كل الأشخاص يلي ما قدروك بأيامك اللي قبل، أنا فخورة أقلن إنه هيدي أمي، هيدا اللي وصلتني لهون، هيدا اللي دعمتني، وهيدا اللي رح تضلها لقدام مدى الحياة.
أحبك كتير والله يخليك.
Okay.
I don't speak Arabic, but even that, I'm so sorry. Just pull yourself. Thank you so much for joining me for another session of lessons from my mother. One lovely. You want to go? You can clean up, but pull yourself together. Thank you so much. Most of us cry because our mums matters to us so much. And I'm so glad to see my friend getting teary-eyed. I'm sure you would too. Thank you again, and I shall see you next week. Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you. So glad you came. Bye bye. Why don't